Hopefully we get to see Deanna this next week. It is a character that does not get nearly enough screen time. Meanwhile, we gotta see Trash all the time. We gotta see Nick Ho every day. We've seen a lot of Grayson and Ashley and Jacob and Smitty and Naomi. Let's see more Deanna, please. Happy Sunday, fellow Beyond the Gates viewers, even though I'm recording this on Friday. But I'm here to talk about the preview for this upcoming week of Beyond the Gates, which from the video preview, from spoilers I've read, it sounds like we should actually have some action. We should have lots of movement this week. We finally get to the Cotillion, and there's a very, very interesting spoiler that I do want to touch upon. But let's first talk about the video preview, and after I will also read some comments like I always do. The first thing in the video preview is Grayson giving Ashley something in case something happens to him. Ashley says Grayson is scaring her. So we are seeing that there is a possibility that Grayson could end up dead with this storyline. I don't foresee that. They definitely clearly want to continue to build on Ashley and Grayson, even though that's a misery to me. But I think that this is just the show kind of raising some stakes or trying to... Although, can you really kill Grayson, who can be stabbed and then walk around fine right after and lose blood and still walk around the next day, go back to work? They might struggle to raise these stakes because it is the Grayson character. Next, we see Derek confronting Grayson at the free clinic because we do finally have a little set for the free clinic, which I'm not going to hate on. I'm glad we have something. Don't know why they couldn't do this sooner, but at least we have something. And I'm glad that Derek gets some sort of maybe an I told you so moment, or maybe stops Grayson from stealing the blood. But I do think this is an overdue confrontation between these two. Not that they've built up to it well, in my opinion. Not that I wanted to see more of Derek because we've seen way too much Grayson lately. But I am fine with this confrontation happening. And I hope Derek does some good work during this confrontation. We then get to see the Cotillion starting, and Samantha upset that Donnell is not there yet, so Donnell's going to be late to the Cotillion. I don't know why, so it's definitely probably going to make Samantha more nervous. We then see Vanessa telling Martin that Donnell nor Deanna are answering. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if Donnell is dealing with Deanna or something. Hopefully we get to see Deanna this next week. It is a character that does not get nearly enough screen time. Meanwhile, we gotta see Trash all the time. We gotta see Nick Ho every day. We've seen a lot of Grayson and Ashley and Jacob and Smitty and Naomi. Let's see more Deanna, please. But I don't know if Donnell's gonna miss the Cotillion. I'd be surprised if he does, though. I think he'll just be late. The next in the preview is dancing at the Cotillion, so we are at least getting to see stuff at the Cotillion, which is hopefully better than Winterfest. I mean, I think it's hard to not be better than Winterfest. That was a big old fail, but I still don't think this is going to be the most dramatic event. But I think they're going to have this event while there's something very dramatic happening with a sort of climax to the Impaler storyline, which I am good with. Next is Jacob having to reveal himself to Leah when Leah catches him doing something. So we're going to have a showdown with Leah and Jacob here. You all know how I felt about the Impaler storyline. I don't think it was well put together. It was kind of all over the place. A lot of talking, not enough action, a lot of stuff happening off screen. I'm just glad we're getting to a climax, and I hope we can move on from this. Next, we hear some gunshots, and Elon screaming that shots are fired. So I don't know if that's Ren versus Jacob, maybe, or should I say Rashad, or what. I do see in the spoilers that someone might die this week. I'm assuming that someone is Leah. I don't see any of these main characters dying in this story, and I don't think that is the the payoff that people maybe want after having to go through this storyline. I've seen a lot of comments saying over the months that they hope this Impaler storyline has a good payoff. I don't know if Leah dying is a good payoff. I don't know if the actual Impaler is going to be revealed over this next week. My assumption is to say not yet, because we're going to have this climax, and I think they're going to maybe continue part of this Impaler storyline, I fear, until we really figure out who it is. I hope it's not like we have to keep having Jacob undercover to catch the Impaler, though. That would be rough. But something very interesting in the spoilers, and if you don't like spoilers, you should probably skip ahead a few minutes in this video, because I do want to talk about this. I usually skim the spoilers. I've been reading it more and more as this year goes along, because I need to find something in the spoilers to look forward to, especially during these boring weeks over the past month. But there's this spoiler that says something like there is one of the McBrides has a stunning reunion, which to me can only make me think that Doug is alive, or maybe it is me having hope that Doug is alive, because I've been saying for months that that's like probably the only thing that could save this Vanessa and Joey storyline, is that Doug is not really dead. So best case scenario is obviously that Doug is alive and that he is like revealing himself to Deanna, maybe. I feel like that is the best character to reveal to, because Deanna is so likable and she gives her mother a lot of shit. I think next, maybe best case scenario, is Doug revealing himself to Donnell. A not so great scenario to me is Doug revealing himself to Vanessa, or them trying to have some twist where Vanessa has been trying to take down Joey all along, and maybe them making her this very miserable, totally unlikable character is just that she was in on this plan with Doug all along. I don't like this for two reasons. Why make Vanessa so unlikable if you're going to do that? But a bigger reason means that they actually had that reveal happen off screen. If Vanessa knew the whole time that Doug was really alive, they really robbed us of seeing that. And I think it just takes away from us now. Suddenly it's going to make us root for Vanessa again. I don't know. So that worries me. That's a possibility, I must say. Another scenario, though, and maybe the worst case scenario, is this is a fake out of some sort in the spoilers. And it's some random reunion with the McBrides. I don't know, maybe another family member. Maybe it is Vanessa and Deanna reuniting and getting together and being happy as mother and daughter. That would be terrible. But anyway, I did find that spoiler the most intriguing thing about this upcoming week. Regardless, I think it's going to be the Friday cliffhanger, because that is a spoiler for next Friday. Anyway, let me get to some of your comments while I still have some time. I am recording this on Friday, like I said, so any comments in the Friday episode I won't be able to get to. Lydia Duncan asked, "Where is Lynette? I hope they get back to this storyline soon." I mean, that's the $1 million question for me. That is a character that I obviously liked and I have missed. And since Lynette has been gone, it's been pretty much torture for me to watch this show. Anyone that watches the watch-alongs with me, or just probably listens to my reviews, it's been a struggle lately. I would like Lynette to still be alive, but if Doug is still alive, are they really going to do 2 almost deaths and Lynette's still alive too? That's some weird writing, if so. Enola Hentz said, "Ted is so weak again. Leslie walks all over Ted. Your daughter is grown, not 5 years old. Ted could have a dinner for Eva without Leslie. Writers, please make this make sense." I do want the writers to make sense of why Ted is so weak with Leslie, because they have not actually given us a real answer to that. It is very plot driven that some episodes Ted just is such a pushover with Leslie when he should kind of hate that woman. Bernadine Ward said, "I am so tired that Ted is so weak and spineless when it comes to Leslie. He doesn't need to celebrate Eva's birthday with Leslie. Jacob was weak and told Naomi about Leah. He won't be a good undercover police officer if he can't keep his mouth shut. And when he confides in Naomi about his investigation, I mean, I agree, although they, on Friday's episode, tried to make it seem like Elon thinks Jacob did a great job. Bernadine also said, I have no sympathy for Grayson. There is no excuse for him transferring tainted blood that could harm and even kill patients. I agree. I'm not looking forward to the aftermath of this story when I'm supposed to sit here and root for Grayson and Ashley in that relationship. I'm not on board with that. Anyway, Minnie Johnson said, he is so dumb, in reference to Ted, in case you didn't know. He agrees to an intimate dinner with Eva, Isaiah, and Leslie. It's Leslie's fault that Eva didn't grow up with her dad. Eva is fully grown. He is so stupid. Ted is really stupid. I will say, in the original storyline, though, Ted was also responsible for not growing up with Eva, because he's the one that wanted to send Leslie out of town when she was pregnant. LVS Sweetie said, Jacob needs to be demoted to a desk job, and what I've seen so far, Smitty needs to be in another profession. Neither of them knows anything about being undercover. It's laughable. I couldn't agree more. That's what we've seen with our own eyes. But on Friday's episode, they tried to tell us that Jacob has done an excellent job. Sable said, how stupid is it for Naomi and Ashley to talk about the Impaler mess and mentioned Leah's name in the actual hospital? Yeah, it's something that happens in soap operas. Sometimes, though, like in this particular story, it happens when you gotta dumb down the characters to stretch out an otherwise poorly plotted out storyline. GB5262 said, I wish they would show Bill and Naomi actually in a courtroom. Glad they brought Jacob's dad back. And, we finally got a room for the free clinic. Maybe they will whip up a courtroom for this Madison case. I doubt it, since her whole storylines always happen off screen. But maybe. I'm also glad Elon is back. Elon's another character similar to Deanna that I would rather watch over a lot of characters that they shove down our throats. Marty B said, May sleeps. You're not wrong about that. We have no choice but to watch this Impaler story play out. It's time they uncover who's at the top. I can buy that it could be Joey's sister, since he randomly read an old letter from her, and then we had to listen to Vanessa question him about it some weeks ago. I love the back and forth between Joey and Smitty today. Smitty shut him down when he brought up heart attached. That's probably why Joey still wants him followed. I do think it's probably Joey's sister. I don't know how I feel about it until I see it play out. But it could be someone else. I still don't know why the Kyle character is a character on the show if they're never going to actually dive into him. So that's another possibility for me personally that I think might be the Impaler. I did like the Joey and Smitty scenes as well. One of the better scenes from this past week. Raymond Christian said, the writers have sunk Nicole to a new low when she's being encouraged to have a one-night stand while actively sleeping with both Kyle and Carlton. From, of all people, Vanessa. I mean, I couldn't agree more. Going to Trash for advice and listening to Trash about this. That's why she's now Nick Ho for me. Pam Allen said, today Isaiah cooked a birthday dinner for Eva and her family, but the only thing he served was some macaroni and cheese. Where do they do that at? I don't know. That was weird. And I'm an Italian, so we eat a lot of pasta. I don't anymore because I ate it so much growing up. But at least have some sort of side. We would have garlic bread at the very least, but just macaroni and cheese is not something we would just eat. It would be, more Italian dishes. Doc Backhand said, frustrating soap. What is the point of revealing Joey as a great soul food cook? Rehabbing the Grandpa Gangsta character? Yeah, they've been trying to rehab Joey all year. Doc Backhand said, marginal storyline progression with Leah and Lynette. Hospital Ho Nicole showed decent chemistry with Ted and her fantasy. Yeah, they showed some decent chemistry, but as I've been saying about Nicole, what are we doing with Nicole? Pulse Graves' next comment says, Nick Ho made me really laugh, and Vanessa, she is trash ho. What terrible advice from a supposed friend, but then Vanessa is a nymphomaniac, facts. And what a slap to Doug. And no to Ashley and Naomi ever becoming a couple. The thought of watching that is torture. Um, yeah, Vanessa had made some quip about Doug over this past week about moaning the wrong person's name when having sex, which was probably a reference to old cuck Doug. But I like Ashley and Naomi as a potential couple. If the show is gonna make me watch Ashley, at least make sense of this Ashley and Naomi friendship where Naomi is now following Ashley to work every day instead of doing her own job because she cares about Ashley that much. And I think they would actually have chemistry, certainly more than Naomi and Jacob have, and Ashley and any guy so far. And as regards to Nicole, I feel like we see her every day. She's on every damn day, and yet her character has no real trajectory. She's all over the place. This bad love triangle, now fantasizing about Ted, not doing a good job of pushing back at Anastasia when Anastasia is being a total bitch to her 17-year-old granddaughter. I don't know. Devin's next comment is about this, saying, Nicole said, say one more word about my granddaughter and I'll beat your ass. Chelsea's grandma immediately shits on Samantha. Nicole does fucking nothing. Yeah, that about sums up those scenes on Thursday. Nicole did not do enough there. She really tried to be the fixer, failed at it. Hemi said, let Mona have her how Stella got her groove back moment. I normally can't stand Randy, but he was looking good today, and I honestly didn't mind him flirting with Mona and chipping away at her sanctified walls. I can't do it. Those scenes were so cringe to me. I cannot deal with the storyline where Randy is really getting into those sanctified walls. I don't really want to watch that story because they make me cringe. I'm sorry. I'm not here for it. Especially after what was building for Randy and Lynette. You're going to make me watch Randy and Mona? Please. Honestly, it was so cringe. It's sending a chill down my spine right now just thinking about it. And I probably got to just end this video here. I mean, I'm being kind of funny, but also mostly serious. But I really do got to end the video here. Thank you all for y'all's comments as usual. I think we're about to finally have a decent week, if not a good week. Hopefully they don't disappoint me and disappoint a lot of you again.